Hi, everyone, and welcome to The Balancing Act. I'm Olga Villaverde.
And I'm Montel Williams. Today, we're learning just how the Caregiver Action Network is helping to improve the quality of life of patients and their caregivers.
That's important. Also, we're hitting the high seas again as Regent 7 Seas is launching its latest, newest ship, Grandeur.
And launching, but do we get to go?
Yes, we do, for free.
Oh, come on now.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah.
And leadership tips we can all use. The Balancing Act starts
right now. You know, this month, but really every day of every month, we are and we should honor family caregivers. After all, there are approximately 90 million caregivers in the United States, with 2 out of every 5 adults providing support to either family members, friends, or neighbors.
And we cannot underestimate the value they provide and their economic impact. Listen to this, Montel. In 2021, the estimated economic value of family caregivers' unpaid contributions was approximately $600 billion.
That's crazy.
Let me repeat that, $600 billion. Now, this is larger than the budgets for both Medicare and Medicaid.
Now, let's face it, there are some very big caregiver challenges in this nation right now that we're facing.
That's right. And joining us today is Marvell Adams Jr., CEO of Caregiver Action Network, which is dedicated to providing information, resources, and training to ensure the needs of family caregivers are being met nationally. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. It is an honor to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
So the statistics we mentioned, I mean, come on, that's pretty alarming. And I guess my question is, what is the status of caregivers in the U.S. today?
Yeah, so the statistics you mentioned are really emblematic of a trend that's growing, unfortunately. So for the number of older adults that need support, and really across all ages that need supportive care, caregivers and the number of people available is shrinking. And so when you talk about the current status, you really are looking to the future of this problem will get worse. And so how do we support caregivers with more resources and bandwidth?
I mean, look, we're dedicating this month, but it really should be, and honestly, 24/7, 365 days a year, we should be honoring those who are unpaid, those unpaid heroes that are caring for their loved ones.
Absolutely, and that's what it comes down to, is that understanding that their role is not paid, and most likely they have another role in their life where they are having to have a day job, a night job, whatever it may be, and then on top of that, having the burdensome work of caring for a loved one that they want to be there for. CAN's support really brings those resources, support for mental health and physical well-being to that caregiver so that they can thrive and in order to support their loved one better.
And Montel just mentioned that this is a special month for caregivers. What is it called?
National Family Caregivers Month. Caregiver Action Network has always played a role in ensuring that the country understands the theme and the message of National Family Caregivers Month, because that awareness and the self-identification of caregivers is paramount in order for them to reach out for resources.
And before we get into how we can help, right, help these caregivers, I think we should talk a little bit about the silent issues that they face. Can you touch upon that?
Sure. So it's several. Physical and understanding their health and well-being has to be in good shape. You have to be able to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help someone else with theirs. The mental health aspect of it, and understanding that 60% of caregivers report that they have depression or have had a diagnosis of depression. And then the financial burden is very significant. So you're already talking about a caregiver that's not paid. In addition to that, they're spending on average $10,000 of their own money to be able to be that caregiver. 33% of their income over the annual basis being lost just because they're in the role of a caregiver and have to be supportive in that way.
So, I mean, what do you do to help make a difference that way for people?
So the perspective we always take is from the caregiver's position. So understanding that the Caregiver Action Network provides access to resources, whether that's education on how to approach caregiving, how to handle grief, how to handle that change that's going to take place with waking up one day and realizing that you're going to be a caregiver for your mom or dad or a sister or brother. But also knowing that Caregiver Action Network provides resources through a help desk. It's 24/7 access for caregivers, whether it's mental health support, whether it's financial advice, or referring them to other agencies that may be able to support them.
I was reading here of a beautiful initiative. It's this year's digital initiative. It's called #CaregiversConnect. Can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, so our objective is to provide connection with other caregivers so that there can be an empathetic basis for their understanding and recognize that their own mental health and support is paramount for their ability to be a good caregiver.
And you have a special partnership going on as well, right?
We do, with Haleon, and our partnership of providing health and wellness products exclusively through haleon.caregiveraction.org, where caregivers can go and find resources and products.
That's great. So for our viewers who'd like more information, where can they go?
Sure. We encourage them to reach out to us through caregiveraction.org, as well as through the hashtag Caregivers Connect for the campaign for National Family Caregivers Month.
And social channels as well, right?
Of course, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we encourage you to follow us.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marvell, for being a part of the show today, sir.
Thanks so much. It's great to be here.
Yes, sir. And of course, if you want more information, you can always go to our website, thebalancingact.com. We'll take a little break. We'll be back right after this.
As old man winter is starting to spread colder temperatures across the country, why not escape to warmer climates? The Caribbean, Mediterranean, South America. Sounds wonderful, right? And the best way to travel to your dream, sun-filled destination, an all-inclusive, luxurious, and personalized cruise, of course. And joining us to explain how we can all set sail again is Regent Seven Seas President Andrea DeMarco. Welcome back.
Olga, it's so great to be here again.
Oh my gosh, Andrea, I had so much fun the last time you were here. We have such great news to tell our viewers.
I'm so excited.
Just want to remind them, you know, all of your cruises provide an amazing experience. We know that. But there's a new member to the family.
There is.
A sixth member.
A sixth ship in the world's most luxurious fleets.
What's her name?
Seven Seas Grandeur.
Just the name alone. Okay,
Gives me
so
goosebumps.
I have so many questions. Tell me how long it took to build her. When is the inauguration? What sets her apart?
She's a piece of work, right? The craftsmanship that goes into this vessel is absolutely magnificent. Detail. And I had the pleasure of going to Italy to see the ship being made. It's about a 2-year process. Our designer, Studio Dado, they do a magnificent job of marrying comfort and elegance and style, but in a fresh and exciting new way.
That's beautiful. Now, I know heritage for your company is extremely important. Detail. Everything is just so refined and elegant. There's something very special on board. What is it?
It is. So Grandeur is actually known as the heritage of perfection. And one of the things that we focus on is our art collection on board. So we have a multi-million-dollar art collection. It's not uncommon to come on board and see Picasso's, Miro, and Chagall's. And this time, we've really stepped it up. We've partnered with Fabergé, the luxury jewelry designer.
Hello.
And we have custom built a egg for the Regent Seven Seas Grandeur. We've showcased the outside of this piece, which is absolutely spectacular, but I can't wait to be able to show the inside of what this piece of art looks like.
How exquisite is that?
It is.
Can you imagine for anyone going on board to see that? I mean, that's just a treasure.
It is, and it's the first Fabergé egg to reside at sea permanently.
Something else that's very special about Regent Seven Seas, and you just mentioned it a couple of minutes ago, is the all-inclusive. You have nothing to worry about.
Isn't that amazing?
Share that with my viewers. Explain to them what that means.
It is the best way to travel. We are the only truly all-inclusive luxury cruise experience. So when you don't have to worry about a thing, we will take care of everything for you. So when you come on board, everything's included. First, if you're on any intercontinental flights, we have business class air included, which certainly is how you want to travel when you're traveling internationally. We've got fine wines and spirits. We've got the best specialty dining. We've got 3,800 shore excursions, and that's across the 500 destinations that we visit. We've got butlers for penthouses and above. I know we talked about that last time, but everything is included, and you don't have to worry about anything. And the crew, you have to come and experience our crew. They're like family. It's just the most magnificent environment. Everything's personalized. You feel like you're at home, but you're treated like royalty. So our ships are about 750 passengers, and that's what the Grandeur will be. And then we get smaller from there. So they are that more intimate feel, right? And everything people want now is space. And so we have unrivaled space at sea. And so when you think of that intimacy, having the guest to crew ratio about 1-to-1, you're definitely not getting lost in the crowd.
Now, you told me a little bit about on board. Fill in the gaps if there's anything else that's special. And we talked a little bit, not too much, about when you go on shore. What can you look forward to when you also dock?
There's so much to do. You got to remember, we travel to 500 destinations around the world.
Gorgeous.
And when you get off and you take any of our shore excursions, we do everything we can to create a really immersive experience. So I'll give you an example. We just launched more recently this year our epicurean types of tours, right? So we know that a lot of of our guests are really into fine dining and wine, and we've created custom tours for people to go and experience the culinary side in Italy, in South America, in Alaska, in the destination, so you get that authentic experience that you want when you're traveling.
From onshore, let's go back on board. You know, I'm a foodie. Food is very important for me and my family. What can we expect when we go there? What are we going to eat?
So I got to tell you, our culinary team is best in the world. And what they've done as we get ready to bring out Grandeur, they've curated 130 new dishes and refreshed all of the menus that'll be on board the ships. So you'll never get bored of having the same thing over and over. We've got over 7 different dining venues that are on board Seas Grandeur and across the fleet. So think of everything from a steakhouse that has the best steaks in the world to our luxurious Italian restaurant. We've got an Asian restaurant with Asian fusion, a very, very elegant French restaurant, chartreuse. And so we're always looking, how do we elevate the dining experience on board so that you and the rest of our guests can come on and have a different experience every night.
Okay, so when do we set sail?
Right now.
It's available?
It's available. So you can book Seas Grandeur and sail to the Caribbean right now. And then in April, she'll transition over into the Mediterranean. But don't forget, we've got 5 other luxurious ships in our fleet that travel all around the world. One of the places that I can't wait to visit is South America. There's just such beautiful itineraries. We can go from Rio to Buenos Aires and just get to see and immerse ourselves in the destination. And I haven't been there yet, so it's top of my list.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. And I've been to Rio and it's gorgeous and I would love to go again. I want to hear from some of your valued guests. One thing is to hear it from you, but let's hear it from those that have experienced it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Take a look.
I had sailed myself other cruise lines, but never anything like this experience. This is like total family. We meet new people, everyone's kind, the staff is great, and we love traveling with our friends.
And my experience in that first cruise was, I was just in awe, because I had spent a number of years in the Navy going to sea, and I said, I don't need to go to sea, I know what it's about. I didn't know what it was about. The first dinner in the Compass Rose, it was just amazing. The food, the service, the people, it was just like she says, like being family, like being home. It was great. And ever since, we've been Regent's supporters because of the all-inclusive thing. There's no, once you get on board, it's all there.
Oh my gosh, they had such a great time. I am so jealous. All right, so you're getting ready for a big party for the inauguration, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
When is that?
It's going to be big. It's a big gala, and so that's coming up next month, and it's going to be in Port Miami.
Of course, the Port of Miami.
And it's going to be an elegant gala. I mean, what better way to christen Seas Grandeur?
So for anyone out there who wants to have a great time, including me, give me the info.
Okay, so what you have to do is you either call your travel advisor or go to the website at rssc.com/thebalancing-act.
And there's a promotion going on?
Of course, it's that time of year, and so we have a Black Friday offer that is exclusive until the end of November, so you don't want to miss. It's one of the best offers of the year. But on top of that, we're going to give your audience an exclusive offer. So anyone watching The Balancing Act can get a $250 shipboard credit per suite for any Regent guest that's new to the brand, and that's all the way through December.
I'm going to go on a cruise with you one day.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Come back again.
I will.
All right, and have fun at that big party.
Oh, I will.
And if you'd like more information on how you can travel on this amazing new ship, go to our website, thebalancing-act.com. You will not regret it. We'll be right back.
Look, a staggering 79% of women report experiencing burnout. The effects can be silent, they can be devastating. Some people isolate themselves, other people self-medicate, and others simply just fall apart. But today we're here with Dr. Stephanie Grunewald, the founder of Ancorio, to learn how to counter these effects and beat burnout so we can live the best life we can. Thank you so much, Doc, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, where did Ancorio come from and what was the impetus?
Well, in many ways, I actually was my own first client.
Oh.
Yeah, so to the outside world, I looked successful with my group counseling practice, but the reality is I was completely burnt out. What this meant for me is I was neglecting my health, my relationships, and really my life overall. And even after I realized the toll, I kept doing it. And for me, my wake-up call really came when my mom passed away. And that's when I realized I had to do something differently. So that was truly my inspiration for Ancorio, and it inspired me to work a little bit differently than I do in my counseling practice.
I know it's a silly question, but what is burnout for women?
Well, it can mean so many different things for so many people, but often, as you said in the intro, it's really about some people isolate, and a lot of the times we misunderstand it with anxiety or depression, but it's really when you're in a chronic state of stress and you can't function on a day-to-day basis.
So how do people understand that they have to make more time for themselves in their own day?
Well, what I often find is helpful is when I tell people, treat yourself the way you treat everyone else. We always encourage our friends, our families, our spouses, our kids, you fill in the blank, to take care of themselves, and it's about treating ourselves that way.
But you know, there are only 24 hours in a day. That's what a lot of people will say. And I don't have time for myself or even for my self-improvement. What do you say to that?
The number one reason people give me for neglecting themselves is saying they don't have enough time. But the reality is you can get more hours in the day by being more efficient. Efficiency really helps you by reducing stress, and you'll actually be more productive. The key is to prioritize time for yourself. The same way you block out time to take the kids to school or an appointment, you need to block that time out for yourself. Start with just 5 minutes a day. You can drink your coffee, meditate, or just stare out the window if you're not sure what to do. But the key is just making sure you prioritize time.
Yeah, I think most people who claim that they don't have any time to do something like that are really just making excuses, because they do have the time. Now, you offer executive training, mastermind groups, and reset retreats. What is that all about?
Yeah, so I encourage well-being at work by offering trainings where we build resilience by exploring where people get stuck and how to get out of it. The reality is we all know that we're supposed to eat well, get enough rest, and move, but we still struggle to do it. So that's where my groups and retreats really are protected time to prioritize yourself and your well-being. Because what I really want for people to understand is that when you build a supportive community and you have somebody holding you accountable, it increases the likelihood of you following through to 95%.
This isn't something that you just teach or you preach, you actually live this, correct? This is how you kind of beat the hustle and grind of the day, right?
I was able to beat that hustle and grind mentality when I figured out that my self-care is time in nature. And now I prioritize hiking as often as I can and getting outside in whatever ways I can.
And what do you think that most women should probably try to figure out for themselves when it comes to those who are struggling with burnout, trying to figure out that me space? What should they do?
Well, really what I say is don't wait until it's too late to do something about it. I'm really trying to empower women to understand that prioritizing themselves isn't indulgent or selfish, it's necessary.
What gets me sometimes is the fact that rather than have this kind of approach, I'm not knocking the medical field, but somebody else wants to come up with a pill. You don't have to have a pill all the time. I mean, just like you said, taking a walk out in nature. I just saw a report a couple weeks ago talking about the fact that, just spending time in nature, going out and smelling the old saying, smell the roses, can actually uplift you. This would be something that is a forethought, not an afterthought.
Exactly.
Well, Doc, if people want to get more information, where would they go?
They'll go to my website at Ancorio.com.
Thank you so much for being a part of the show
Thank
today.
you.
I really appreciate you being here. I know our viewers do too. And of course, if you want more information from us, you can go to our website, thebalancingact.com. We'll see you right after this. Well, thanks so much for joining us today.
Remember to head to our Facebook page, like us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, and visit thebalancingact.com to enter our latest sweepstake or giveaway.
Because you might just win something.
That's
I say it
right.
all the time.
Right on.
Stay safe, love that family, viewers, and we'll see you next time.